Welcome to the latest OSR V8 development series race for a Tuesday night. We're in split 2 tonight. Key points at this track, which is Phillip Island, down off the southern coast of Victoria in Australia. Very important to keep our car straight. Don't accelerate out of the corners too early and bag up the tyres. Should take a few laps to get those tyres warmed up. Race goals tonight, simply to survive the first lap and give others plenty of room. There's always carnage on the opening lap here. Finish the race with minimal incidents. Try and stay at a consistent pace through the race. Keep the car straight and damage free, and finish the race in a higher position than we start as per normal. Turned out to be a really good race. Had some fun with the top 5 to 10 place getters in the opening laps. Turned out to be a good points haul as well, so sit back and enjoy. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, welcome to the latest round of the OSR V8 development series. This week we're at Phillip Island and Tuesday night split 2, and we're starting 20th on the grid. There's 40 odd cars in the field tonight, so we're sitting in the middle of the pack, and lap 1 here normally gets a little bit chaotic in the opening few sectors. So it'll be interesting to see how we fare up as we get ready the lights to go green. Told myself I'm going to take it nice and easy through here, so let's see if I can stick to my own plan. Following Ben through here, there's normally some chaos on the inside that normally wipes out to the outside of the corner, but bit of bumping and grinding as we go into the southern loop for the first time. Oh, cold tyres. It's just a matter of getting to a rhythm here and not making any mistakes early.
Trying to come back on the wall.
Split 1, slower 6.8 seconds.
I was just trying to avoid who was in front of me spinning.
So practice during the week, didn't get a lot of time to put in some laps, but I've done plenty of laps here before this weekend, so hit a bit of a stall at the moment where I'm stuck at a lap time I can't beat at a 32.0, 1 minute 32.0, so managed to equal that but couldn't actually better it during practice. So we'll see what we can do throughout the race tonight. Give this bloke here on the inside a bit of room and hopefully he'll return the favour. We might just duck in behind him here, I reckon. Get a good run down the straight.
Laps remaining, 24.
Well, that's one lap down.
1 minute, 45.1 seconds.
There's 24 to go.
Split 3, slower 3.1 seconds.
Tyres are starting to come up to grip now, which is giving you a bit more confidence in the car, but that was a better line through that corner. So we've got Will Bailey in front of us.
Slower 0.3 seconds.
He qualified a lot further up the grid than we did, so we can might be able to tuck in under his rear wing and follow him around for a few laps. But I'm happy with that. 20th up to 13th in the first lap without any incidents, so that was a reasonable start for us.
Slower 0.3 seconds.
So it looks like 7th through to myself in 13th here. So we're at the back end of the top 10.
Laps remaining, 23. Lap worse by 3.5
There's Joe, Karen getting past me with no one fast.
33.2 seconds. Split 3, slower 0.8 seconds.
This corner seems to be the death of me every lap. I just can't get the same drive out of there I can on my good laps.
Split 1.
I normally come out of there 4 or 5 tenths down already after the second corner, so it's quite vital in making a good lap here and getting a good run through Southern Loop, I think. Stewart's come up behind us, he's just half a second behind us at the moment, so he's come to join the party, so that's about 7th through to 14th now. One mistake and we could find ourselves up in the top 10. Would need to be lucky, but certainly happened before.
Inside, Rick. You're clear.
Alright, Brenton's now in front of us, and looks like we're right in his toe. We're quicker than Brenton in practice.
Worse by 1.7 seconds. 1 minute, 33.0 seconds. Split 3, slower 0.5 seconds.
And he's blinking, which adds to the fun. See if we can get a better run out of this corner by going a little bit wide and on the gas sooner.
Cheers, Luke.
Got to be careful not to give Stewart behind us a sniff of a gap, or else he'll be in there like a rat up an aqueduct. That was probably a smart move there to duck in behind him rather than leave a gap for Stewart to slide into. Car's actually feeling real stable now, which is good compared to those opening few laps. Don't think I want to go down the inside here because he shuts the door on me, and rightly so.
Henry, when you get a chance, can you look at my lap 3, please?
Laps remaining, 21.
Come around for another lap. This should be a relatively good one. 32.6, that's not bad. By my standard anyway. We have got the draft of the guys in front of us, but by the same token they also feel like he's holding me up a little bit, but that's just driving cautiously not to make an error and cause some grief. But it does look like we might be catching the other group in front of us as well. They seem to draw them in. Someone's wide here, so we've got to be careful of them coming back on the track. Shane, by the looks of things, like they're up on the brakes going into Siberia.
Slower 0.4 seconds.
It's quite happy to sit here in 12th at the moment. It's too early in the race to start making aggressive moves.
Laps remaining, 20.
This is the fourth time I've raced here during the OSR series, and up until this weekend I've never ever had a clean successful run, always been wiped out, or I think I ran out of fuel one year. This track's prone to people dive bombing you as well. particularly into this corner here and going through past the hay shed.
069 seconds.
And then of course at the bottom of Lukey Heights. A little bit wide through there. Lost 3 or 4 tenths because of it. Still in their draft, so that's alright. We should be able to suck back up to the back of them. All the time being mindful of Stuart behind us, and Dave's only 3 seconds down the road behind him again, so drop a wheel off or make a little mistake, and
Sorry, Peter, didn't realise
instead of being in the back of the top 10, which this looks like we may just climb into the top 10, you could find yourself well and truly down the order.
That works by 1.2 seconds. 1 minute, 32.2 seconds.
Whoa, back marker here, Peter Simon's coming through.
Slower 0.2
It's good, he gave us plenty of room. He's normally a lot quicker than that, so he's obviously coming to grief in the opening laps with someone else.
Split 1, slower 0.6 seconds.
Another one that went straight on there. Who was that? Brenton West? No, Stuart. No, don't know who it was.
Split 2, slower 0.5 seconds.
Bit of a look and make sure he knows we're sniffing around. May or may not be able to pressure him into a mistake here in the next few laps.
Laps remaining, 18.
It's just a matter of being there, and when someone makes a mistake he can capitalise on it. So we've actually got my teammate Rick Burt up the front of this group now leading us.
1 minute, 33.2 seconds. Split 3, slower 0.5
That's him sitting in 6th. So now we're a group of 5 through to 11 if you include Stuart behind me.
Split 1, slower 0.2 seconds.
This may get ugly. People under brakes and a bit soft in the tail. Oh, oh. Oh, that must have been close. And that looks like Brenton West going west out through Siberia. Gee, that must have been closer to Rick a moment ago, where he got turned around there at Honda Hairpin. I'm not sure who that was that turned him. Might pick that up on the replay later on.
Laps remaining, 17.
So that may, fingers crossed, might put us up to about 8. Find out as we cross the line here.
Lap works by 2.2
8 laps of fuel to go.
1 minute, 33.4 seconds. Split 3, slower 0.021 seconds.
So Shane's a pretty quick operator in front of me, so it looks like he's having a pretty good run. We might tag onto the back of him and see if we can catch the 2 guys in front. They're 2 seconds down the road from Shane, so I think he's out of their draft, but I'm still just in his. Brake lock up. That's another free position. got Jared Tapsell behind us. He looks like he's come back through from the back of the pack as well, so Jared's quite quick from what I've seen, but also doesn't mind pushing people out of the way to get to the front as well, so it's not that it might not be intentional, might just be the fact that he's still trying to learn other drivers in the series, but I just don't want to be on the receiving end of a unnecessary shunt. So where are we after this lap? 10 laps down, up into 6th. We're on the back end of the top 5, which is good. When the lights went green 10 laps ago, I certainly didn't think we'd be up here, starting back in 20th. Might start thinking about fuel and going into the pits in the next few laps. So now Jared's there behind us for half a second.
Yeah, Henry, I'll get you to look at the... Henry,
We might actually pull in the pits here.
Henry, can you take a look at that, please?
Just trying to avoid Jared if he's coming through, and we go in the pits, we'll let him go by.
Laps remaining.
Stay to the left here. Careful not to get a speeding infringement through here. Probably a little bit earlier than I would have liked to have pitted, other than the fact I had Jared behind me, so let's just keep topping up with fuel here. We've got about 15 or so laps to go until the end of the race, and that'll give us a nice little buffer, hopefully, to get over the checkered flag.
Last lap was incomplete.
We might exit on the second exit here instead of the first one. Oop, there's those cold tyres. Let's not do anything silly. What have we got in front of us? Jesse and Tim look like in a little battle between themselves. I'd say we can probably catch these guys and get by them pretty quick. I'm not sure if they've pitted or not yet, but
4.9 seconds.
I'd probably suggest not.
Laps remaining.
If they're going to keep battling like that, that'll help us. Ooh, cold tyres again. If they keep battling, that'll give us a chance to catch up to them as well, as long as we don't get caught up in their melee. So that gives us a 15 lap stint home on these tyres, which is more than doable. Still should have plenty of grip come at the end of the race, so
Is that better for you, Darren?
let's see if we can jump in the draft of these guys going down the straight.
Spin me around. Should get the penalty.
1 minute, 37.4 seconds. Split 3, slower 0.3
Okay,
So
seconds.
that was
go,
obviously
Rick,
a
don't
slower
worry
lap
about
because we just came out of the pits.
Thanks, Brad.
So we went from 6th back to 29th because of our pit stop, but as everybody else eventually pits, hopefully we'll climb back up the positions,
Slower 0.3.
back to probably where we're closer to the top 10.
17. Split
Follow
2,
these guys
slow
through the hay shed here.
0.5 seconds.
Going into Lukey Heights. So Tim's a little bit wide, so giving Jesse a look up the inside. Oh, I don't like the look of this. Oh, Tim's giving us a bit of room, it's good, and
Sorry,
let's see if we can squeeze past
going on a
Jesse.
bit floppy.
That was more arse than class, I think. Either way, we got through. So the next car on track is John, who looks to be a lap down.
Lap was
Nearly another 5 seconds up the road.
1 minute, 33.7 seconds.
Well, now we're up to 20 with first, because there must have been a few in the pits that time round. And we've got Steve off up here. Hope he doesn't come back on. I think he's seen us and given us plenty of room.
Split 1, slower 0.1.
Run out of pit,
Hope
2.
he doesn't turn in. That was nice and event free.
Laps remaining, 12. Split 2, slower 0.5 seconds.
So we've already created a bit of a gap to the guys behind us. Good 2-second buffer, and that leaves Bruce 6 seconds up the road. And, I've had quite a few good races with Bruce. Him and I have relatively good speed, so may struggle to catch him unless he's got some damage. I think he was caught up in some
Lap was
a melee earlier on in the race.
1 minute, 32.3.
He must have gone into the pits there, so
Split 3, slower 0.
find ourselves back up into 14th. We've got Jared back in front of us. He's done the old under-over in the pits. I'm not sure if he's just come out of the pits or if he had damage or cold tyres.
Split 1, slower 0.2 seconds.
Seemed to have come up on him pretty quick, so maybe he's got some front end damage. Certainly throwing some stones on the track everywhere. Back of his car looks alright.
11.
He's just telling me there he's been hit.
Split 2, slower 0.3 seconds.
Sometimes through there I'll go back to first, and other times I'll stay in second. I don't know what the right way or the wrong way is, but if we get a latch onto the back of Jared and claw in within that 1.2 seconds of him,
32.3 seconds. Split 3.
I think we're just out of draft range at the moment.
1 seconds.
Got Liam another 15 seconds up the road, so 8th place certainly looks like it's out of reach at the moment. We might be struggling to hang on to the top 10.
Split 1, faster 0.080 seconds.
Sorry, mate.
Ooh. Oh. Nearly followed him and suckered me into that corner there. He went deep, I went deep.
Lap, Shane.
He managed to control it a bit better than I did. But all of a sudden, instead of a second behind him, now we're 4 seconds down the road worse off, and we're under threat from Peter Derrick behind us.
Slower 4.6 seconds.
He's right there, and looking for an opportunity, I guess. I'm sure he's keen to get into the top 10, and I don't want to give it up without a fight.
Laps remaining 10.
But by the same token, I don't
Hitting out,
want to
first exit.
wipe myself out and lose a top 12 spot either. It's a matter of risk versus reward, I think. It's frustrating now, and I could have been that extra 4 seconds up the road.
1 minute 36.6 seconds. Split
Yeah,
2,
first
slower
second.
0.5 seconds.
So I think Luke's just come out of the pits here. Who's that? Dean's had a spin. So here we were about a lap ago saying top 8 wasn't even an option, and here we are sitting in 6th on the grid. So we'll try and take Luke up the inside here. Hope he doesn't turn in. And I think it was a bit of a combination of a lock up and also a punt in the rear. From behind, which didn't help. Where does that take us back to now? There's Colin going through. So we may be about 14th or 15th. Just goes to show what one little mistake can
Split 2,
can do, and
13.5 seconds.
end of the day it hurts
Laps
your
remaining 9.
track position, your overall result. Alright, we're through on Luke now. Second time to charm. So Will's the next one in front of us. And as we come round onto the straight, the completion of lap 16 will get a better idea of. Oh, no, Luke's still in front of us.
By 14.4 seconds. 1 minute 45.
We'll get a better idea where we are. 12th on the grid.
Split 3, slower 0.5
So that little mistake a minute ago cost us good 6 grid positions. Daniel behind us, Colin behind us.
Split
Be careful not to do the same thing again.
0.6 seconds.
Daniel's looking a bit hungry here, so we'll cover ourselves going into the corner. But it obviously sacrifices exit speed. We now have Will 5 seconds down the road, Ben another nearly 7 seconds.
Split 2, slower 0.5 seconds.
So we'll be doing pretty well actually if we get back into the top 10 after this. It's probably not looking overly promising. I reckon we might be able to pull away from Daniel and Colin, and may catch the back of the guys in front of us.
Lap worse by 1.8 seconds. 1
That was
minute
another 13 second
2.9
improvement on our lap.
Split 3, slower 0.123 seconds.
Kind of gave Daniel plenty of room there because I could see him coming down the inside and tried to do the old under and over, but he covered that off pretty well.
It ain't gonna work when you try and force me off.
What's going on out here?
Slower 0.7
Look,
seconds.
Steve's had another off, and we've got another car on the outside. We've got someone braking us on the inside. Oh, oh.
Sorry, boys.
Well, that just got pretty messy pretty quick. So we've got Steve behind us, and we know Steve's quick.
Ah, sorry, man. Lost it up.
Laps remaining 7. Split 2, slower 2.4 seconds.
And Daniel's running wide here, so that'll give us a chance to latch onto the back of him again. don't want to do anything silly. Steve might have damage, he's dropped back a second already. Although, don't want to count him out. Might have just had a bad corner as well. So where are we at the end of this lap? I'm not sure after all that stuff at Honda hairpin just then.
1 minute.
Nice start
11th.
there, Joel.
0 seconds.
So the top 10 may be feasible if we can get past Daniel and not sacrifice any other positions from behind. Daniel getting Taylor out of the exit of that corner, and Darren in front of us looks like he had an off going through turns 2 and 3. There goes Daniel. I reckon if we worked together, we may have been able to catch Darren and Will in front of us.
Laps remaining. 6.
So halfway around on lap 19 to 25, so we're getting towards the
0.2 seconds.
final part of the race. We've been on these tyres now for 5 or 6 laps.
Sorry about that, Kevin.
Probably a bit longer than that actually. Just got to keep hitting our marks, not getting on the gas too early like that. Got Darren 2 seconds up the road, well and truly out of our draft, but we are dragging Colin down the road with us. He's only 0.9 behind us.
Split 3. Slow 0.182 seconds.
Really don't want to give up this 10th spot. I'd be happy with the 10th after where we started from and the little incident I had before when we were trying to pass
Split 1. Slow
that lap car going into this corner here. That was a bad exit and was giving Colin a sniff, but he's on the wrong side of the track, so he probably have to concede here and pull him behind us, which he does.
Laps remaining. 5. Split 2. Slower 0.5 seconds.
Fairly defensive going through there because I don't want to give anybody an opportunity to stick it down the inside, and more often than not they end up locking a brake and sliding into the side of you or pushing you off the track. Or so Colin's half a second behind us now.
2 seconds.
He's still in our toe coming down the straight, so we're actually
2.9 seconds.
helping him
Split
along.
3. Slower 0.
We're still a good 2 seconds behind Darren in front of us. I'm saying that we've gained half a second through that corner, so he might have missed a gear. Certainly not close enough to do anything yet,
Split 1. Slower 0.2 seconds.
but if we can get into his draft, that'll be a bonus.
Laps remaining. 4. Split 2. Slower 0.076 seconds.
I think Darren's pretty lucky there. He must have got pretty close to John as he darted across the track. Front wheel lock up from Darren. Gives us an opportunity to get onto the back of him. If we get a good run out of here, we may be in his draft going down the straight. 1 second, so we're probably in his draft, but certainly not getting a big helping hand.
2.3 seconds. Split 3, slower 0.5 seconds.
So a 32.3 wasn't a bad lap last time round, considering the length of the tyres, and we'll see if we can improve on that without taking too many risks.
Slower 0.151 seconds.
I think I said before a 32.0 is my best time around here in practice on fresher rubber than what we're probably on now.
Laps remaining. 3.
I think we've just fallen outside Darren's toe zone at the moment.
Split 2, slower 0.164 seconds.
And they have given themselves a little bit of a buffer to Colin behind us. Another front wheel lock up there from Darren. It's just something to keep in mind, because if we do have an opportunity to pass him, we may not want to do it into that corner if he keeps locking his front inside wheel. Because at that point, we're really just a bit of a passenger.
Lap worse by 0.8 seconds.
Good to see my other teammate, Jason Reese, a
31.9
couple of spots behind me, 7 seconds further back, but he started just behind me on the grid, so he's had a good run. Oop, just looking at the lap time there, a minute 31.9, so new personal best. I'll take that, considering the
Split 1, slower
tyres have got a bit of age to them, but
7 seconds.
oh, and there goes Darren. He took a left when we should have been turning right. Obviously didn't get that memo. Well, that may help us in the scheme of things.
Not a 10 out.
Slower 0.4 seconds.
That might put us up to 9th. Certainly didn't think I was going to be back up into the top 10 after that spin there. I think we dropped back to 14th. Two laps of fuel to go, and we've got 2 laps on the board, so we've calculated that relatively well, I think.
Lap worse by 0.6 seconds. 1 minute, 32.9 seconds. Split 3, slower 0.8 seconds.
So that was a second slower that lap. Not sure what I did wrong to cause it to go a second slower, but still. So Colin's 1.3 seconds behind us now, so unless I make a mistake,
Slower 0.
I don't think he's going to be a threat. We've just got to keep braking where we normally brake,
Brad,
hit
that
our
was one nice pass.
apexes, and not get on the gas too early, more importantly. As soon as you do that and you bag them up, you
Well done,
leave a
Shane.
bucket load of time.
Laps remaining. 1.
Right, hard.
A lap and a half to go.
Split 2, slower 0.3
Not
seconds.
easy.
Don't think it's going to happen, but Ben and Will are up the road. They're only about a second apart, so unless Ben does something drastic looking for a position, I think this is where we might finish our race, which is still a good result, 20th up to 9th. I'll take that any day of the week. We've only had a handful of incidents, and all those have been pretty light and pretty soft. There wasn't much in them.
1 minute, 32.6 seconds.
I took it there, he got in the stars.
Second and a half back to Colin now, so
5 seconds.
without counting my chickens before they hatch, I think we're pretty safe. We've got Peter up in front of us now, which I don't think I'll I'll push too hard to try and get past him. There's no real benefit. I think as I said earlier, risk versus reward.
Split 1, slower 0.3 seconds.
So poor Peter's had a bit of a shocking run by the looks of things tonight, but no doubt he'll bounce back. Just looking at the time standing down here in the left hand corner. We're up into 8th, so I don't know how that happened. So I'd be happy with the top 10, but even happier with a top 8 position. Just don't want to get on the gas too early out of here. Feather that throttle. Just back off, roll through the corner, back up a gear, power out, and we think we'll call that a race. That's 25 laps to Phillip Island, and that ended up being quite a good result, I think. I reckon my teammate behind me might have finished just outside the top 10. So considering where he started on the grid, that's a good result for Jason as well. But I think we're out of fuel. Coughing and spluttering, I don't think we're going to get... Oh, there goes Rick, I don't know where he finished up. 30 something I think that said. What's going on up here? Oh. I'm out of fuel and got nowhere to go. Alright guys, we'll call that a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. If you like the video, hit like and subscribe. Drop me a comment, and good, bad or otherwise, I don't mind. If you tell me what you liked about the race or the video, and tell me what you didn't like, I might look at changing things up a little bit, or
yeah, awesome job, Shane, mate.
trying a few different things.
Really enjoyed that. We're really respectful driving on
by
your
all
behalf,
means,
mate.
give me some
You deserve
feedback,
that. Well
and
done.
we'll catch you in the next video.
I appreciate that, mate.
Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
Good drive, Elliot. Well done, mate. Nearly one more lap, you would have had me.